Prime Minister slammed those who oppose creative education. Prime Minister China thought to be a milestone of relationship. Khaleda Zia shifted to cabin from CCU. Those were the headlines. This is ATN News. Good evening, viewers. I'm Hasina with English Bulletin. Multi-purpose education has been introduced to create employment opportunity in home and abroad. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina made the remark in her address to an event at Osmani Memorial Auditorium in the capital on Monday. The event was organised to hand over money of financial assistance and sub-stipend among the students. Highlighting importance of science education, the Prime Minister said it is not possible to keep pace with the world without technological knowledge. League government always allocate maximum money for education. Recalling the introduction of creative education to keep pace with the changing world, the Prime Minister said some people are criticizing it without having a proper knowledge about it. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will tour China within July 8 to 11. Several accords and memorandum of article will be inked between the two countries during her China tour. It will be a milestone in bilateral relationship. Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmud made the disclosure after a meeting with the Chinese delegation at a hotel in the capital on Monday. Minister of International Affairs of Chinese Communist Party Liu Jianxiao led the 8-member Chinese delegation. After the meeting, the foreign minister told the media Bangladesh want to lessen trade deficit with China. To achieve that goal, export of leather products and machine also came up in the meeting. Meanwhile, Chinese Minister Liu Jianxiao said China wants to be with Bangladesh in achieving the target of building smart Bangladesh. The government is hatching conspiracy to remove Khaleda Zia from life out of grudge and vengeance. Senior Joint Secretary General of BNP Ruhul Kabir Rizvi made the remark in his address to a Dua Mahfil at party central office in capital's Bulletin on Monday. He said Khaleda Zia has been shifted to cabin from CCU. The Dua Mahfil was organised by Jatiyodabadi Mohila Dol to seek divine blessings from the recovery of party chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia. The BNP leader alleged the government has inked a deal to sell the sovereignty of the country to India. India will not give a single quantity of rice without own interest. Khaleda Zia is deprived of getting better treatment as she refused to give corridor. The government has turned the country into a sanctuary of corrupt people. That is why they are now talking in favour of the corrupt people, he added. A vested quarter is engaged in hatching conspiracy against the country, allying with BNP. Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmud made the remark at an event at the National Press Club to mark 75th founding anniversary of Army League on Monday. The event was organised by Bangabandhu Sanskritik Jot. He said the country is still having democratic practice with the strong leadership of Sheikh Hasina, a leadership in steering the country, keeping the head high in the tumultuous world has become an instance for the global community. He said Bangabandhu's daughter has led 75-year-old Army League for 43 years. Hassan Mahmud claimed only Army League has the practice of constitution and internal democracy. The foreign minister called upon the media to publish and broadcast the news of corrupt people and to see that no propaganda takes place against the innocent people. Newly appointed Army Chief General Waqaruzzaman has paid homage to martyred heroes of the Liberation War at the National Mausoleum in Savar on Monday. Later, he signed the Visitor's Book. He was accompanied by senior officers of the army. Earlier, the new army chief paid homage at the portrait of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in capital's Dhanmondi at 10:45 a.m. He also paid for the salvation of the departed soul of Bangabandhu and his family members. The army chief also visited Bangabandhu Memorial Museum. General Wakaruzaman began his day's program by paying homage to Shikha Onirban, the eternal flame in the memory of the members of the armed forces who embraced martyrdom in the Liberation War. A smartly turned out contingent of Bangladesh Army accorded him Guard of Honor at the time. General Wakaruzaman took charge as 18th Army Chief from Sunday afternoon. Now a short break, we will be back soon with Court slap ban on Motiur and family's overseas tour. South Africa moved to semis of T20 World Cup. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. Name of Ifat, the son of NBR official, became viral on the social media during the time of Eid al-Adha. The sensation was created centering buying a goat at Taka 15 lakh by Ifat. Amassing of huge amount of wealth by Motir Rahman came to limelight. Name of his two wives and children also came under spotlight. Anti-Corruption Commission began probe on the matter. As per ACC's appeal, the court slapped ban on overseas tour of Motiur Rahman's first wife Laila Kaniz Lucky and son Ahmed Tawfiqur Rahman Arnob on Monday. However, it was learnt from the social media Motiur Rahman's second wife and son Ifat have already left the country. The media report claims Motiur Rahman has also left the country. News around the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said intense fighting against Hamas in Gaza is nearly over. However, he has insisted war on Gaza will continue even if a ceasefire deal is agreed with Hamas. Netanyahu's such comments comes weeks after Biden laid out a peace plan that he said was approved by Israel. In his latest interview with the Israeli media outlet Channel 14, he talked about deploying more troops to its border with Lebanon and addressed ongoing anti-government protests. Further, Netanyahu has indicated that he is open to a partial deal that would facilitate the return of some captives still held in Gaza, even if not all. The goal is to return the kidnapped and uproot the Hamas regime in Gaza. Meanwhile, Save the Children said up to 21,000 children are unaccounted for since Israel launched Gaza war. Gaza children's death toll in hunger, malnutrition, thirst now stand at 31. Saudi Arabia said at least 1,301 people regrettably died on this year's Hajj pilgrimage, with numerous cases due to heat stress and unauthorized trips. Saudi government press agency reported the health system addressed numerous cases of heat stress this year, with some individuals still under care. Statement said 83% of those deceased were unauthorized to perform Hajj and walked long distances under direct sunlight without adequate shelter or comfort. There were several elderly and chronically ill individuals among deceased, and families of all dead had now been identified. However, extreme heat wave has been named as main factor behind hundreds of deaths, injuries reported this year's Hajj. Holy Mecca city central for Hajj pilgrims. Authorities also said the problems have been compounded by a number of unofficial pilgrimages. At least 15 police officers and 4 civilians, including an Orthodox priest, were killed as gunmen opened fire on worship places in 2 cities of Russia's southernmost Dagestan province, what appeared to be a coordinated attack. However, no group has yet claimed responsibility for Sunday's evening's attack. Dagestan Republic head Sergei Melikov said at least 6 militants were killed following attacks on churches, synagogues and police posts in Durban city and regional capital Makachalaka are about 120 kilometers apart. He described the possible sleeper cell's involvement and suggested possible foreign help. He added operative search and investigative measures will be carried out until participants of sleeper cells are identified. Attacks took place in Dagestan, having separatist militant violence history. Turbulence there has been further fanned by Russia's Ukraine war. Russian President Vladimir Putin offered his deepest condolences to those who lost loved ones in Sunday's attack. Russia has declared 3 days of state mourning, and financial assistance will also be given to victims' families. Viewers, we will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching English Bulletin. The news on ICC T20 Men's World Cup. South Africa have moved to semi-finals of T20 World Cup after a cliffhanger that gave them 3-wicket win in Duckworth Lewis's turn method over co-host West Indies. After England secured their place in the last 4 on Sunday, the game in Antigua was essentially a quarter-final to decide the other side to progress from Group 2. Chasing a DLS revised target of 123, South Africa cruised home with 5 balls to spare. After restricting West Indies to 135 to 8, the Proteas seemed to be in the driving seat, but Andre Russell struck twice in the second over of the chase to leave them 15 for 2. Sudden downpour halted the game for 75 minutes. South Africa returned with a new target from 17 overs, and a flurry of boundaries created the momentum for them quickly. Meanwhile, India will face Afghanistan in the Super 8 match in Bangladesh time 8:30 p.m. Before ending the bulletin, the top stories once again. Prime Minister slammed those who oppose creative education. Prime Minister China tour to be a milestone of relationship. Khaleda Zia shifted to cabin from CCU. Court slap ban on Mutir and family's overseas tour. South Africa moved to semis of T20 World Cup. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us.